second day onto this island I arrived on yesterday. Well, let's say it was an interesting night camping out. Extremely windy, and as you can see, the weather is not exactly perfect, although I don't know what really it's called perfect anymore when it comes to photography. You can pretty much take amazing photos in any kind of situation. Yeah, very windy right now, so I hope you guys can hear me clearly. But yeah, there's not exactly much option right now for taking photos of birds or anything because you can't really see that much, and there's actually mountains behind me, but the clouds are completely covering them at the moment. So I thought, with the way the weather is and the sea is moving quite a lot, I decided maybe coming down here to the water and getting some shots of the tide coming in. I just think it could look really interesting. Just the way the water crashes onto the rocks looks really cool. So I'm stood here right now at this really nice bit where there's this little bit of a cove and the water is just rushing through into it and it just crashes along the side. I think it could make something really cool. So I'm at least going to test this out. There's a few other sections across the island that also run out into the sea, so I might go and try a few other spots out as well. But I think I'll try this first here and just see what kind of shots I do get. But I think this could be pretty cool. So I just set my camera up against these rocks here. These rocks are extremely slippery, so I'm trying to be careful with where I'm walking around as well. And I've also had to really extend the legs out on my tripod and put them against the rocks to make this work. But I've just got this view coming in here with the water just crashing in, and there's some rocks at the bottom as well. So the water just goes over onto the rocks, and you just see how the water draws back through the rocks as well. It just makes a really nice kind of texture and a really good movement to the image. I'm just waiting for the right waves to come in and the right moment. So I'm just taking a couple of different shots with how the water's moving in and out. And I'm shooting this at 1/6 of a second and f/22. Even though it's really overcast today, it is still quite bright, so I'm having to shoot at such a high aperture to do this, and I even have my ISO down to 80. But just so I can get the movement in the water, this is kind of the only way to do it. If I was going to freeze the motion, then it would be no problem to shoot at a lower f number. But yeah, I think this could be interesting. I just have to take multiple shots and wait for that right image. So at least for a first shot like this, I think it's quite cool. Everything kind of just leads into each other. The rocks go down towards the water, and then you got just the way the other rocks in the background there just kind of arch in and go into that. I just think it works really nicely. So yeah, let me just carry on taking some shots, and you guys will see the final image. I've just come to this spot here, and I've been kind of sat here for quite a while now trying to perfect what I'm trying to look at. I found this big rock here on the side, so I've just been walking around it trying to see what angles can really work for this, and it's just really cool how this rock just leans into the one side, and it's kind of looks like it's leaning onto smaller rocks underneath, but even the rocks underneath are also going up to one angle. And then I found another rock behind it, which is a little bit smaller, almost doing the exact same thing. So you're getting this really nice kind of symmetry in two different sizes. Plus, this big rock has some really nice colors in it and some really great detail. And I'm also trying to get the rocks in under me as well. So I'm going for like a really nice wide shot here. and the rocks are really dark, but they have this really interesting texture to them. So there's just so much going on. There's not so much movement in the water here, but where the second rock is in the background, the water does come in there a little bit, so I am waiting for the right moment for that too. But I just realized something really interesting about how the big rock is here. The mountains in the background, the end of it kind of just drops off. And the great thing about this rock is it looks like it's almost leaning or just floating off the end of the mountains. So getting the right perspective really does help in this moment. And because the sky is really kind of blank, there's not really much detail or anything going on in the sky, I'm trying to cut off as much sky as possible. So I will be getting mainly the foreground, and the top of the rock will basically at the top of the frame. But I think this could turn out quite nicely. I am going to shoot it still at a slower shutter speed. So I got it at 2.5 of a second and an f16. So f16 will allow for quite a lot of detail running through, so I don't even need to focus stack this. I think it should turn out quite nicely. So it's just a matter of waiting for the right moment, waiting for the water to come in at the right time, and basically get the shot. So yeah, I think this one will be quite an interesting one. But I certainly need to wait a while and just perfect it just that little bit more. So I think the hardest thing right now is finding different styles of compositions without it looking too similar, because almost everything along this coast is pretty much the same thing. There's a lot of the same rocks going to the one side, and I'm trying to find things that do stick out that will look different from each other. And well, right now I found this pool of water here that I think could look pretty cool. The only problem that kind of sucks is that I don't have a polarizing filter to take away the glare off of the top of the water, but I think it'll turn out quite fine. But the reason why I chose this spot is also because of the rocks that are in the background that are just getting the water just splashing around them, and I just think it adds a little bit of that element of drama behind something of peace, because this water is completely flat here. I just felt like having an element of movement and something else in the background just to add a little bit of dynamic would make the shot a little bit more interesting. So I thought this would work out quite well, and it's got a quite nice shape to it as well. It's like this interesting pyramid shape, and I think it could work out quite nicely because of the way it goes out from where the camera is. It kind of leads you out in towards the sea. I wish there was more rocks out there, and I wish the waves were a little bit stronger so you're getting a bit more splash up on the sides here. But I think this will work quite nicely. I'm going to shoot this at around f18 and 2.5 of a second. But yeah, I'm just going to have to see how this goes. Hopefully the shot does turn out quite nice. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this episode. I don't think I'm going to be spotting so much else. The weather is a little bit up and down. I'm waiting for things to clear up a little bit. But I am going to be here for a while, so expect some more episodes to come out of this area, and especially some wildlife videos. But yeah, we'll just have to see how things turn out while I'm here. In the next couple of days, hopefully some sun will come out, and that will make a huge difference to getting shots here. But if you are interested in what I'm using to edit my photos, I'm using Luminar, and I'm sponsored by Skyloom. So if you want to go and test it out, you can get the trial period of Luminar 3. And if you do decide to buy it, you can use the coupon code CJamesPhoto to get $10 off of your purchase. Obviously buying it will help me out a little bit, and also it'll be good for you to get it at a cheaper price. So I suggest you go and try it out, or at least check it out. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and be prepared for the next episodes coming up, and I'll see you in the next one.